Greetings, peace, and blessings. I'm Jovhannah Tisdale, also known as the Spiritual Love Healer. I am an intuitive tarot reader, energy healer, and spiritual life coach. And I'm here to help you when it comes to your emotions, love, relationships, and matters of the heart. So I had some free time to come on. So I just wanted to just come chat. Last week, I was down with a horrible head cold. So kind of got off schedule and things like that. And I'm just getting over it. So I'm like just grateful that I can talk without sounding super stuffy. But I hope that you all are doing well. This month for me has been one of like massive transformation. Like everything has like been shaken up and changing, but it's also beautiful. But I was also like reminded at just how, even when good changes happen, how unsettling it can be because, you're rebuilding your foundation and getting used to like a new normal and all the things. So it's been a challenging month, but in a very, very good way. So I'm still working at like finding, my new schedule and getting down a new routine for everything. But I'm proud of me because I have been like here consistently. I just haven't been able to do videos because I was not feeling well. My website is almost ready. I just need to go through, just make sure everything is connected, and then I'll just hit the publish button. So I'm very excited about that as well. So if you don't know, I recently transitioned from a previous brand that I built under the Spiritual Love Healer. One is because a lot of like spam on Instagram, and I also felt like it was just time to like just use my own name. And so I did that. It was a very just beautiful process for me, like a reclamation of sorts. And I'm really excited about what that holds for me. Ironically, it does not stop spam accounts from being created, but there's only one me. So I feel like that makes it a lot easier. And I do a lot of different things in addition to, doing spiritual work. I also do other things. So like social media, I help people build websites. I do a lot of different things. And so it just made sense for me to just be me. But I really had no topic for discussion today. So I'm really just here, just talking randomly, which I miss. What else is going on? I'm trying to think if there's any updates. So I have a lot of deck reviews that I want to do. So in addition to reading cards, I'm somewhat of a deck collector. Ooh, hello, Miss Goddess Afua. It's almost your birthday. Thank you. Haliku. I appreciate you. The Gilded Aspara. I probably did not pronounce that correctly, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, I didn't have a topic for today. So if you have any questions or yes, okay, I have nothing more to do in Gemini season. You better get to talking. It's social season. My beautiful friend. So yeah, like just so many amazing things are happening. I'm also in Devoted Energy Coaching School with that's created by Sora Schilling of The Devoted Way, and it's freaking phenomenal. As someone who is already a coach and working with energy healing, like sometimes it can feel like there's like a line that divides the two, but when you're able to like really bring them together, it's really magical. Like every experience has been absolutely magical. So that's something that I'm also working on. I've got a lot of things going on, one of which I have not shared yet. So I'm not ready to share that yet, but it's something that is definitely on my vision board, so that I've been working on. And then I've got Devoted Energy Coaching School. I've got, just so many different projects happening at one time. I've thrown myself into a lot of things because I have to do the things that make me happy. Otherwise, my energy just gets a little like chaotic and scattered. So I have to do all the things, but it's really beautiful because all of my work, it always comes back down to helping people when it comes to connecting, when it comes to love and relationships. And ironically, a lot of times when we think about relationships, we forget about like family and friends. We forget about, our relationship with ourselves. And we usually think about it in terms of like an intimate connection with another person. So that's something that I want to start really talking more about, as well as like the energy of love, exploring love as energy, talking about how it correlates and relates to money because it's all connected. And I'm just very excited to be in a space where I can do all the things. Absolutely. That is total air sign and manifesting generator vibes. Like doing all the things, because I mean, have like a ton of ideas. And then even if I'm not like actively working on something, just knowing that I've created the container for it helps. And then like one day I'll just get an idea and it's like, oh, okay, like go do this. So, oh, yes to opening roads. And we have to make the most of new opportunities. A lot of times when new things present themselves, whether it's like a new relationship or just a new opportunity, oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. So you get it then. We can either talk ourselves out of it, but along with that too can come a lot of like doubt and fear, and it's a little unsettling because it's completely different. And so I found myself feeling like, holy crap, like what am I doing? Like why would I take this time right now when I'm, exploring all these different things to like completely rebrand myself, completely like do a new website? And so I'm like, what am I doing? But then I had to stop and pause, and I'm like, no, this is the path. So like, just enjoy the ride. It's something new. So look at all the manifesting generators in here. Oh my gosh. Like we need to like have a manifesting generator chat. 'Cause I know you all probably have like amazing things happening in your lives right now. So please feel free to share so I can have someone to talk to. But yeah, it can be scary, but it's always like coming back to center, coming back to the fact that it's, this is the path. That's right. Like we can outgrow, different roles and different responsibilities and different things. And sometimes it's not that it, doesn't mean that it was not for us. It's just, I find for myself that I'm growing. How can I say this? Like just becoming more of me, like really coming home to myself. And we are in the year of the Lover's card, which is about like alignment. And that is, to me, when I see that card, it's also about like your own inner alignment with your, your divine feminine, your divine masculine. It's about making the choices like from your heart and coming into your core. So I really feel that for myself. Like this is that like just really coming home to myself and really just stepping out of the mask, stepping out of the identities, the roles, the habits, and the beliefs that don't serve me, that are not supportive of who I am here to be. And it can all be super scary because that means like I like cannot hide behind a brand name anymore. It's like my whole name is out there. It's me. And it's good though. It's refreshing, and it feels good to be able to do that. Like, and I find that things come a lot easier when you are walking your path, when you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, when you are just being yourself. And it's funny because Bradley Valentine is who gave me the advice to like change it to my name. And something he said like really struck me. He said, when I am my authentic self, that's when the magic happens. Magic is not going to happen in your life if you're not being yourself. The same way you're not really going to find someone who truly loves you if you're not being yourself, because they don't know you because you're wearing a mask, or, you're trying to appease them, or you're people pleasing. So they have no idea who you are or how to connect or relate to you because you're not being yourself. When we are able to like be whoever we were created to be, as wild, as wacky, as unique, as whatever, that's when opportunities line up, because there are certain things that are only for you. So for you, Goddess Afua, only you can do what you do like you do. Like there's nobody else who can do what you do the way that you do it. Oh, I will. I need to start putting stuff on TikTok. But it's just it's really amazing. Like the more that we just become ourselves, and there's like this unlearning that has to happen because, whether it's from conditioning from childhood or just, crazy life experiences, we gather all of these layers and all of these labels and identities that we think we need in order to be ourselves. And we don't need any of that shit. Like we can let it all go and just be me. Like I get to be Jovhannah. And when I am Jovhannah, that's when people want to come and work with me the most. That's when they're like, oh, I need her in my life. She knows what she's talking about. And like the more that we're ourselves, the more that the blessings that we need, like when the spirit's like, okay, there she is, there he is. Now here are your gifts. Here are your blessings. Here are all the things that we've been trying to give you, but you haven't been the person that you're supposed to be. So we have not been able to gift you with these things because you could not see yourself for who you truly are. So there's this essence of, and something that I struggle with is like doubting myself. And I look around at all the things that I have done, all the ways in which, people have commended me for ways that I've supported them and helped them. And I'm like, why would I doubt myself? Like, what? That's crazy. But, we all suffer from some form of, like imposter syndrome or self-imposed limitations, however they may look. And so there's this constant nurturing that's needed, right? And that kind of goes back into the energy of the Lover's card. Like we have to love on us wholly and completely. And the more that we do that, it like kind of creates this energy torus, right? So the more that you're filling yourself up with love, the more that it is radiating out from you. And then other people see that and they're drawn to your light. They're drawn to your energy. And like magic just starts happening, like random things start happening. People start giving you things. You start getting invited into spaces. You start coming up with like amazing ideas and having all of these, just beautiful experiences simply because you decided that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you can be your beautiful, unique self, and that that's okay. And I think too, there's something with like aging as well, where you get to, different levels in life where you are like, okay, the first half of my life didn't really go as planned, right? Like I wasn't really living for me. And so it's like a shift happens, and it's like, again, like you're shedding things that no longer serve you. And I think especially when we talk about relationships, because I talk about self-love a lot. I talk about mindset a lot because all of that stuff matters. It matters so much. If you do not know who you are, and when I talk about self-love, I'm not just talking about, okay, let me go, pamper myself on the outside. I'm gonna go buy myself an outfit, get my hair done, get some nails on, get dolled up. I'm talking about shining a light into the darkest corners of your heart and mind, where your pain resides, where your trauma resides, where, those experiences that you had, the stuff that you pushed aside because you felt like you couldn't deal with it, or you felt like, they scarred you in some way, or they made you ugly, they made you unworthy. To me, when I talk about self-love, like it's an act of healing and it's an act of transformation. When you truly love and accept yourself, you're able to accept all the flaws, all the fucked up things that you did when you didn't know better. You're able to, all the mistakes that you made, you're able to look back with compassion and forgiveness for yourself, and you can grow through it. And instead of like stuffing it down in a hole and dressing yourself up on the outside so everybody looks at you and is like, damn, she's got her stuff together. Like, look at her. She's put together from head to toe. But meanwhile, like, you are dead inside and you're crying inside. Like, that's not self-love. Self-love is not something superficial. It's something that happens on a soul level that's really connecting you to your highest self, to your spirit guides or your ancestors, whatever you want to call it. Is connecting you to a deeper part of yourself that allows you to see that you are a divine being, that you are worthy of love, that you are able to heal and transform yourself. And I think that's a very beautiful thing. So when we talk about relationships, I talk about that a lot because we have to be right with ourselves. We have to know the shadow stuff, right? We have to know the parts and pieces of us that we're afraid to share with other people. Like we have to know those things about ourselves and be okay and accept those things, because when you get into a place of acceptance for yourself, nobody else can really reject you if you love all of you, right? If you know that this is me and I made mistakes, but I learned from them, they made me a better person, I've gone through all of these different things, then you move differently, you act differently, and you respond differently. So that goes into like our emotions, right? Many of us do not necessarily know how to process our emotions because of a variety of different things. And so, when you are taking care of yourself, right, you're taking care of your mind, your emotions, your body, your soul, your finances, you're able to process your emotions in a healthier way, which allows you to communicate better with other people, to understand and to accept differing viewpoints without feeling triggered all the time, or without feeling like we can't be friends or we can't be together if we don't like the exact same things. It's like you're comfortable with who you are. So whenever there is contrast or a difference of opinion, you don't have to feel threatened, because you recognize like, okay, that's them. Like they're standing in their beliefs, their sovereignty, whether you agree with it or not. It doesn't take away from who you are. So there's a lot, I think, before we even talk about getting into relationships, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, like it really does begin with ourselves. And the more that we do the work to heal, whatever that may look like for you, whether it's going to a therapist, whether it's doing journaling work, energy healing, physical fitness, whatever your method or modality for processing and getting to a point of acceptance and awareness within yourself, it doesn't matter who else you're connected to. It's not your relationships will not thrive if you are not okay on the inside. And that's something that we see a lot of right now. Like, even if we listen to like a lot of music right now, a lot of it is toxic. A lot of the music right now, if we listen to it, it isn't like a lot of love songs. There are some artists, and you kind of have to search for them, because most of them are not getting the airplay, who are having more that's right, like your familiar, your platonic, your romantic, professional, all relationships suffer. Like there's always, right, even in the workspace, there's always that one person who, as soon as they get there, like you can just feel the energy shift, and like they are just like, just a lot of negative energy. It's somebody that you can't really talk to. Your relationships suffer when you are suffering. And it's equally as important to be able to like express what you are saying and thinking and feeling to someone else, as it is to be able to listen and understand what someone else is saying. A lot of times we listen through filters to find like connecting points, or we listen to try to make, something that we think is true. Like we're trying to make something true instead of listening to what is being said. And we get to a point where we can listen without like trying to, filter and try to look in between, read in between the lines and try to piece pieces and parts together. Like we just have to learn how to listen and accept what's being said. And if there's something that you don't understand or that you think might mean something, ask. It's called, like, that's what communication is about, like asking for clarity. Okay, so when you said X, Y, and Z, do you mean? And they might mean, no, I said what I said. And then you have to take it as that instead of like ruminating over it 3 hours later, like, I think they really meant such and such and so and so. So it's very interesting. So it all just comes back to being anchored into ourselves. And this year is really one for connections, for connections and alignment on multiple levels. And that goes for men being able to get in tune with their feminine side, with their emotions and self-expression, and women being able to tap into or balance out their masculine energy as well. So there's a lot of like balancing out that's happening this year. And it's very interesting to be in this year of the lovers where there seems to be a shit ton of chaos that is happening right now as well. I mean, it's not funny, but the irony, right? So, like I said, I didn't really have anything to talk about. I just made it a point that I wanted to go live today. And so I did. And I think before I go, I'm going to pull a card from my Angel Wisdom deck. And I just talked about balancing things out. And here we have the Two of Earth. And this is all about balance. So they are on a tightrope, on a boat in the ocean. And you can see the waves back there. And that is quite a balancing act because what? Like you have to have absolute like core strength and like balance and to make this happen. And then you're juggling on top of that. Like sometimes too, what I'm getting, like sometimes we're doing too much because why? Like, do you want to fall off the boat into the ocean? And that doesn't look like a big ship, right? It's not like a cruise ship or anything. Like there really is no support on this boat. So what are you doing? Sometimes we put ourselves into these situations where we are overwhelmed. We're burning ourselves out because we want to be busy, because maybe we're trying to avoid all of these emotions that are stirring underneath the surface, because water represents emotions. And so when there's a lot of stuff going on internally, we can busy ourselves. And then we look like this guy here who is on a ship in the middle of the ocean, standing on the tightrope, trying to juggle. It does not seem like it's going to end well. So sometimes you have to decide, like, what am I doing? Do I need to be standing on this tightrope or should I step off? Do I really need to be juggling or should I put these things down? Like, what am I really doing? And sometimes we have to really stop and ask ourselves, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here in this space right now doing all of these things? Does it really matter to me? And so this goes back again, needing to find balance in your life, whether it's between, your career or, a passion or a hobby. But there's a definite need to find balance in your day-to-day life because you have a lot of things going on. If you have been feeling, I think a lot of people are like past burnt out. Like this is a new, just like trying to do stuff and things are happening or not. Like it's, I forget, where did I see that? There was like, burnout was like months ago. This is just what it is, right? So, and I feel like a lot of people are in this energy, but know that it's okay to stop. You can put all the, what are those? You've got some coins and watches. Like you can put that down and you can step down. You get to allow yourself peace so that you can regroup and then figure out what needs to be done. And I think because, right, all of this is very masculine energy. It feels very masculine to me. It's like we're trying to do all the things when maybe you just need to sit down and listen because there's something happening within you that you're not hearing, you're not tuning into. There's some sort of emotional turmoil that you're not addressing. And when you're stressed out, it's hard to get things done anyway. Even if you had all the balance in the world to stand on this rope in a moving ship in the middle of the ocean with all the waves and the water just, knocking the boat all around. Even if you had all the strength to like really do that, like it gets tiring. So you can always just press pause and look over all of the things that you're doing, right? Where are you putting your energy? And the places that you're putting your energy, is it beneficial for you? Are you getting a return on the ways that you are investing your time, your energy, and your resources? If not, then you have to figure out, like, why am I here? Why am I doing all of these things? That could be a relationship. It could be within a career. It could be just within yourself. Like maybe you have too many thoughts in your mind because you're trying to keep yourself busy because you don't want to pay attention to what's happening. So I feel like what needs to take place, especially before going into a new month. We just entered Gemini season, so there's probably like a lot of like energy, creative ideas flowing. Is just pause, right? Take about 10-15 minutes to yourself and just check in, like, what do I need to do? what needs my energy right now? What is most important for me? And sometimes we can't even ask what is most important for me because our time is beholden to our jobs or to our children or to a spouse or to something that we may not really want to be involved with. So really it's about carving out time for the things that bring you joy and finding peace and balance. And for those of you feeling like a lot of emotional turmoil, pause. Find some respite, some rest, a creative outlet, something that helps you to feel more balanced, whether it's going for a walk. I used to walk down to the river daily. The snakes this season are like out of control. It's kind of been overrun by snakes. So I've decided that I'm going to let them have it. And finding new ways to like get my connection. I do miss going to the river, but I'm not trying to get bit by a copperhead. So yeah, I had to pause on that. But I will still walk down there. I just don't go down to like the edge where most of the snakes are because, again, I'm not trying to play with them like that. Normally, like we had like an agreement. And like I've never had this issue with so many snakes there, so I haven't really been able to get there, and that has always been like an anchor and a place like that kind of kept me centered and grounded, so I'm having to find a new way to do that. But yes, the burnout is real, and we have to do something. Like when you are burned out, things have to change. And it's so interesting because on the bottom we have the 9 of fire, and this represents like really protecting what's important to you. So as you can see, she's got her shield and she's prepared. The moon back there, the intuition is guiding her, and she's like, I know what's important to me. And usually too with this card, it's the 9 of Wands in a traditional tarot deck. And it's this person, they look like beat up, right? This looks like overwhelmed. But what it's saying is that you need to ask for help. Ask your angels, ask the people in your life. If you're feeling overwhelmed, like there's no way she could catch all of these wands coming at her. But it's like you have to ask for help. And make sure that you are setting yourself up for success. So if you know you have a lot of things going on, like I got a lot of stuff going on. So I've been like trying to find ways to like make my life easier. The things that are important to you, you need to protect them, and don't let those things get swept away because you feel burned out. Sometimes the very thing that we need to do, that we don't do because we're so tired and drained, is the thing that we actually need to do. So make sure that you're making time for that, whether it's meditation, whether it's journaling, whether it's like working out, walking, whatever that may be for you, you have to find space for it in your life. And then everything else, then everything else usually will adjust to, you know, what you have going on. When we put ourselves first, it's so beautiful how like everything starts to just unfold, and everything just kind of comes into alignment because you are walking your path. You're doing the thing that needs doing. So I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was absolutely totally random. My website, jovhannahtisdale.com, will be live soon. Fingers crossed that will be in the next couple of days. I spent some time this weekend working on that. And I'm very excited to just be stepping into this space. I think I do need to add like a couple things to my website. So I do have like a couple VA/online business manager, social media clients. And so I might add a couple like services around there, more in a consulting aspect. I don't want to like do the work, but I do love helping people get started and mapping out a plan and then saying, go forth and be fruitful. So yeah, so there's a lot of that that's coming on. Yeah, just a lot of beautiful things are unfolding. Like I said, I have so many different projects and things that I want to do. But again, I have to pace myself because there's only one me. I can only do but so much in some time. And most of my day is spoken for, and then I have a few other projects that I'm helping other people with. I don't know how I'm going to get all of this done, but I know it's going to get done because this is where Spirit has led me. So I just have to trust the process and be super realistic about my life and my time, because I am also a mama. So there's that. But it's beautiful. I like being busy. I love what I am doing, and just so many amazing things are happening for me. And I hope that amazing things continue to happen for you as well. Mwah. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I'm going to try to come on live more and really start talking about relationships more. I definitely want to have some conversation with men as well, to like hear their viewpoint around, love, matters of the heart, all the things. Healing especially, because I know there are people that are talking about it, but I want to talk about it. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about so much more. And I love that there are a lot more men who are, I'm definitely not going to delete it. I know that there are a lot more men who are working on their own healing and starting to become, self-aware. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, especially when it's genuine and authentic, and not the ones that want to be spiritual so they can manipulate people. But yeah, before I even go off into that tangent, I'm going to go. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It has been an absolute pleasure. This is like the only quiet hour I have right before Savvy gets home from school. So, I wanted to make good use of it. I am super tired. I got little to no sleep last night. So I'm hoping I can take a nap, but that's probably not going to happen. But, yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.